Good morning. It is Thursday, the 7th of September, and I woke up this morning at 5:15, went to the gym. I really was not in the mood, and when I was driving there, I was saying to myself, like, I'm definitely going to go straight to bed as soon as I get home. But when you work out, then you wake up, and you don't really need to go back to bed. So sometimes I definitely have, but this morning I was like, oh no, I can stay awake. I'm just taking off some of the excess makeup from last night because I didn't do the best job at removing it. And this mascara is really hard to remove because it's waterproof, so I'm just going to remove any excess. It's easy to get and then just top it back up. Anyway, so I did that, came home, then put my laundry on, had breakfast, had some Wheat Bix, and did my meditation using Headspace and read for about 10 minutes. I'm still reading Lily Singh's book, which I'll link below. Then I washed my hair. It was just getting a bit gross. And hung up my washing, and thankfully you can't see, but I realised that I put all my bras in the wash. So I'm not wearing a bra. But I'm wearing a singlet under this. Anyway, you can't see, but just thought I'd say that. So today I thought I would just chat about healthy eating and willpower when it comes to healthy eating, because that feels a lot better. In the last few weeks, I feel as though my self-discipline with healthy eating hasn't been as good as it has previously. So I'm normally pretty good at eating healthy, like for the last, 10 years. I'm just one of those people that I like healthy food, and it's probably, I think, because I tell myself I like healthy food as well. Definitely a big sweet tooth though, and Steve and I have a giant drawer of lollies and chocolate, / if you're in the US, lollies mean candy. But yeah, so I feel like the last few weeks I've just been digging into that a lot more than I normally would. Like I normally am not restrictive, but I know I don't physically feel good when I'm eating heaps of shit. So I normally limit it because I know that's what I actually want isn't what I feel like I want in the moment. I'm just going to mix my two foundations. By the way, I don't think I've mentioned, it looks so gross. I use the L'Oreal True Match in 3R3C and 2R2C because I have red undertone in my skin. So this is the one I need to use. No method here. Just putting spots of both. So last night I decided to do a little willpower test, and this is just something I like to do when I feel like my willpower and self-discipline is lacking in a certain area of my life. And I find as well that if it's lacking in one area, it sort of carries over. So if my willpower and discipline are lacking when it comes to exercising and healthy eating, I find that has the biggest impact on the rest of my life. So if I'm just giving into instant gratification a lot in those areas, then I do the same thing when it comes to work. I just find myself opening a million tabs and looking at things as soon as I want to look at them, which isn't great for productivity, which is something I'm really working on at the moment. Productivity, yeah, it isn't great because it's really hard to get a lot done when you're not focused. And as we've all heard by now, multitasking isn't actually a thing. You're just switching between things, and it takes a lot of energy to switch and to go between things back and forth. So I find that if I'm opening heaps of tabs and being like, oh, I want to look at online shopping right now, and then I go and do it right then when I'm in the middle of doing something else, that doesn't make me feel good. Even though in the moment that's what I want to do, it's not actually what I want to do. So yeah, and I find that if I'm being really self-disciplined with exercise and healthy eating, it's so much easier to be self-disciplined and focused with work and with everything else that I do. So last night I did a little test because I normally, is that in? I'm just going to do really simple makeup today. Oh, my hair looks so much better than yesterday. What was I going to say? So at work, I normally will go and buy a wrap, like a chicken wrap from the cafeteria. I work from 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. So I normally go and do that at 6 p.m. because if I wait until 8:30 when I get home, I'm normally so starving. So that's just like my little snack. And I know for some people that's not a little snack, that's a meal, but I need to eat quite a few calories for the workouts I do. So yeah, so for me that's the snack. And I normally have a tea. And lately, if anyone's been offering any kind of like chocolate or anything, I say yes, which normally I wouldn't say yes to, just because I know that's not what I really want. But yeah, lately I've been saying yes. So last night I said to myself as I was getting to work, all I'm going to have tonight is 2 bottles of water. If I get hungry and if I get really hungry and go and want to eat a wrap, I'm not going to go. I'm just going to sit with that feeling of hunger. I'm not going to die. It's 4 hours. It's not like I was doing this for an extended period of time. Like this is 4 hours. I'd eaten like a couple of hours before I went to work. So it definitely isn't like real deprivation of any kind. Like most of us can go 4 hours without eating, hopefully. So anyway, I just wanted to do that last night because, and have no tea, which is what I love doing at work. But I just wanted to, get used to, again, feeling that urge to have something and not allowing myself to have it. And I don't know if you've never done anything like this, it might sound really weird to like forcefully deny yourself, but then at the same time, like, I just think it's such an important thing to be able to do, to want something and not get it straight away, because a lot of things that we do want in life, we're not going to get straight away. And we're going to have to wait. And if we are so used to just getting everything as soon as we want it, we really struggle when it comes to those things that we have to wait for. And then also, like, a lot of us aren't reaching our long-term goals because we're constantly giving into short-term urges like eating. So yeah, I felt really good after I did that. And I did actually, when we were watching Netflix, we've been watching Glow, which is Glamorous Ladies of Wrestling, but it doesn't have any wrestling really. It's just a show about this weird group of women making a show about women's wrestling, ladies wrestling. Anyway, I had a couple of Oreos coated in chocolate, but that was like, I decided to have them. It wasn't me still trying to not have anything and then being like, okay, I've got to have some. I was like, no, I've done that and I'm going to enjoy 2 Oreos and then stop there. So yeah, so I just thought I'd share that that's one thing I do. I think I'm going to do another one tonight at work. Just these like little really manageable willpower tests. I find it's also easier to think about it as a test or a game rather than to think, okay, I'm not going to eat whatever. And you can even do, like, it doesn't have to be depriving yourself of certain food, but like if you feel hungry, like you're going to set your clock and wait 30 minutes or wait 1 hour just getting used to not giving into like feeling something and then trying to get it straight away. But yeah, I think I'm going to do another one tonight. I just find it so much more, as I was saying, manageable when it's these little tests, because like it's easy when you're like, no, this is just a test, this isn't real life, even though of course it is real life. I feel like my brows look so dark in the iPhone. Does that mean they're too dark in real life? I don't know. Oh well. So yeah, that was just something I did yesterday, because I feel like my healthy eating lately, like for most meals I eat healthy food, but it's just like the snacks that are letting me down, and I don't want to let myself down. So yeah, that's what I was doing. I also looked up some meal prep because I just was wanting to try something different for meal prep. I've been making the same thing for a very long time, and I just want to find a few more go-to recipes. And I want to stop telling myself that I'm not good at cooking, because I used to tell myself like, oh, I'm not good at baking, I really suck, like, because I set my grandma's oven on fire and different things. Anyway, it wasn't that bad. She just had one of the old school ones, and the cake batter went up over the top and went on that, and it caught fire. But anyway, stuff like that. I was like looking for all this evidence that I was shit at baking, and then I just decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna start making like something every week, and which Steve really loved because then he got to eat something really good every week. And I just practiced, and then now I'm like, I'm really good at baking. But I want to do the same with cooking, because I've been telling myself I'm not good at cooking, I don't like cooking, even though I think the real thing that's happening is that I don't like it because I feel uncomfortable when I do it, because I don't yet know, like with baking, I could pretty much, like, I can play around with recipes and change them to make them better. Whereas with cooking, I'm not at the level where I can even really play around, because I just don't know the basics. And so I really just want to find some recipes every week, put more effort into making my meal prep more of a variety, which will help me as well, because it'll be more interesting to eat healthy food then, and easier to stick to. But I really just want to put the effort into learning the basics, making them quite a few times so I can start to see the patterns, and then I can play around with things myself and play around with spices and stuff. But yeah, I just haven't put in that time because I've been like, I'm not good at cooking, I don't like cooking. Yeah, but I feel like that's just me holding myself back, and I would like to like cooking because I need to cook for myself. And I don't want to just eat food that other people have cooked all the time. Like, I do want to like it. And Steve's amazing at cooking. And so he's been trying to teach me, but because he's more advanced, he's teaching me like what he does. And I feel like I just don't have the knowledge to pick it up from that level. So I feel like really just every week putting in a couple of hours to make some different kinds of food. And yeah, I don't know if any of you guys like are the same, where you want to cook and you want to eat healthy, but you tell yourself you're not good at it or you don't like it. I think it's just really interesting with that stuff to look at, like, well, is that just something you're telling yourself? Yes, because anyone can learn cooking. And I don't know, often we talk about cooking like it's, you're either born to be good or not good, but that I feel like when you really think about it, it doesn't make sense. Like, the people that are good put in time. The people that are not good generally don't put in the time, like, generally speaking. Of course, there are like people who are world-class chefs who've put in the same amount of time as people who are like good but not amazing, but getting to that like base level of good, I feel like anyone can do. And when we're like, oh, I'm just not good at cooking, we say it like we were born that way, but obviously no one's born good at cooking because we can't even speak when we're born. So yeah, so I've just been thinking about that and watching myself, like when I catch myself saying like I'm not good at cooking, like to correct it and to be like, oh no, like I'm learning how to cook or something, instead of I'm not good, because if you hear yourself say something a million times, you believe it. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I'm definitely not a person that, like, I'm not gonna, see, I even do it now. I'm not gonna, like, I want to share some of the meal prep stuff I'm learning because I know a lot of you want to do it too, but I'm not into meal prep that much, in the sense that, like, I can talk about personal development every day for a year, but I'm not that interested in many other topics as much as I am in personal development. So there are much more passionate people that I feel like are more helpful to teach. But if I can share who I'm learning from so you can learn from them too, then I think that'd be cool. I found a really good website actually. It's called fitmencook.com. So probably not in their target audience, but for the type of diet that I want to have, which, if you're not familiar with macros, which are just protein, carbs and fats and having a certain balance, then I don't know if it'll make as much sense, but the meals that he cooks are like the right macros that I want to be doing, which is 40, 30, 30. Anyway, I won't go into that because I don't actually know off the top of my head what I'm doing, but it's just really healthy. Like if you Google, like I love lasagna, it's my favorite food. So I was like, maybe I can make a really healthy lasagna. But if you Google healthy lasagna, you often get like lasagna with low fat cream and all that kind of thing. And that's not what I want. Like I'd rather eat full fat anyway, but I would rather have it made on completely different ingredients instead of just a version with less fat in it. And like my diet's fairly high fat anyway, high good fat but high fat diet. So yeah, so when I was looking for that, I found his recipe, and then I found his whole website, and he has a meal prep pro app which I'm trying out, but I don't know if it's for me, because I don't cook dinners. I'm very lucky in that Steve's mum or Steve normally cooks dinner, so I just need to get my breakfast and lunch and snacks. But the app wants you to cook like every second day or every third day, and I just want to cook once a week, have the same lunch every week, freeze it all, eat it, because we don't have that much spare freezer space either. So I kind of want to do that, or maybe even while I'm learning, I'll cook 2 different things and cook half as much, just so I can get that extra learning. I'm not sure, but just something I'm currently working on. And yeah, I think I'm going to do another willpower test tonight. I would really love a tea though, and it's such windy weather, it's perfect tea weather. So I think I might just do having a minimum amount of water, which was good as well, because normally I struggle to drink that much water. And because I drank so much water, I wasn't nearly as hungry as I normally get. So I think that was a really good thing to do as well. But anyway, that's all I want to chat about today. I'll probably be chatting more about healthy eating in other ones, because it's something that I'm still working on, even though I definitely feel like I'm doing fairly well in that area. Like building up willpower and self-discipline is something that if you're not paying attention, it can easily just slip out of your grasp. So I'm trying to get that back into control. I am getting that back under my control just by creating some little challenges for myself. And then I know from experience that when I do that, then I just get a lot better at like not having a million tabs open and not being super reactive to exactly what I want all the time. And I know that a lot of people say like, I just want to be able to do what I want when I want to do it. And I get you, I feel you, but I think that often, because our short-term wants and needs, or mainly wants, aren't in alignment with our long term. So the people that just want to be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want, buy what they want, eat what they want, often are really unsatisfied with their lives because long term they are not getting anything that they want, just because they're like wanting this instant gratification of being able to never have to use any willpower or self-discipline. So it's not about denying yourself, it's about allowing yourself to achieve your long-term goals by sacrificing a little bit in the short term, but when you do it, knowing that it's going to make you feel better. And as soon as you start to, like for healthy eating, you don't have to do it for very long to start to feel the benefits. So yeah, just something I've been thinking about, but I will see you tomorrow, let you know how my next willpower test goes. But I'm still working on being more productive, which is part of why I was doing that test. And today I'm just going to be editing a couple of videos for YouTube, getting all of these set up and ready to send out to the YouTube. Yeah, that's it. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.